Well, here's old preacher man Piper coming to you again, old Doc Hatfield. Tell you another story about my life. I was about 6 years old. We lived in Altus, Oklahoma. My dad was pastor of the Tabernacle Baptist Church. And at this time, we was having a building project going on, and out in front of the church was a big sand pile, tall sand pile. And a few of us kids, we said that when church was over, we'd go out and we'd make a race up that sand pile, see who got to the top first. And so, sure enough, soon as the church was over, out the door we went. And man, I'm telling you, I jumped into that sand pile and I drove my hands and my arms into that sand pile, and I was trying my best to get my hands and arms out so I could get on up there and be first up at the top. I wanted to win. And so what happened was, when I pulled my hands out, all the women started to scream. They just screamed and screamed. And I thought, what in the world is going on? And about that time, a man runs in, tells my dad, said, something's happened to your son. You need to run out there. And so he comes out there. My brother just come back from Korea, and he come out with him. And so my brother saw me first, and he grabbed a handkerchief, and he come up to me, and he said, my goodness, you cut your finger off. And I looked down, there my finger was just a-dangling, just flying back and forth like that, like in the breeze. And he pulled it back up, he wrapped it up with his handkerchief, and he told my dad, he said, we got to get him to the hospital quick. And so they rushed me to the car, got me in the car, took me to the hospital, and it wasn't but just a few minutes after that they come back out, and the surgeon said, I'm sorry, preacher, but said, he's lost a finger. Said that it looks real bad, said, wonder what it was that did it. Well, they come to find out later on that a broken piece of brick had gotten it covered up in that sand pile somehow. And whenever I dove in there, it went in and it cut this finger right here. This finger right here just a little bit, and this one here on this side just a little bit, and then this was the one it cut off. And so my brother Don said, Doc said, I just got back from Korea. He said, yeah, I see that. So good to see you home. And he said, but Doc, he said, we learned, we started learning how to reattach limbs. And said, it don't always work, but said, we at least try it. And then if it works, great. If it don't, well, then we do what's necessary. And so he said, if you could, let me show you what we do and see if we can put that finger back on. So anyway, when it was all said and done, they reattached the finger, and they'd bandaged up this finger and bandaged up that finger, and then took my hand and bandaged it all up. Looked like I was a boxer fixing to go in the ring with a big old thing on my hand like that. And the doctor said, well, now the only thing is that finger's been off long enough that it's stiff as a board. And said, if the ligaments and stuff don't reattach on their own, within a year, we're going to have to take that finger off. So that was the deal. The deal was to see if that finger was going to bend again. Of course, these wouldn't bend either because they'd been cut, but they said that they wasn't worried about these two fingers, that they knew that those fingers would limber up pretty quick, and they did. Within a few weeks, they was limbered up and working like new. But see, I couldn't go to church with a finger like that. I mean, after all, you know what that is. And so my brother, he would take and massage my finger every day. He'd spend 2 or 3 hours just massaging that finger, just over and over and over and over and over. Because he knew that we only had a year, and he knew that a lot of times in the service when they reattached fingers and they reattached arms, that if they didn't, if everything didn't go back together good, they ended up having to take it off. Now, of course, if they took an arm off up at the shoulder, that was done for. You couldn't do nothing about that. But anyway, they kept doing that, and within a year, my finger got where it's limber, and I could do just like that. No problem at all. And of course, within a little while after that, I started playing the piano. And of course, then once I fell in love with the piano and fell in love with playing and blessing the hearts of people to hear me play, I was just really thrilled that they had put that finger back on. But I always said if they hadn't, I still could have played. Might not have played like I do, but I could have played. But anyway, somebody said, that's just a miracle that your finger worked like new again. I said, yeah, I think it is. I think God did it. And so that's the saga of me cutting my finger off. I was going to show you the scar, but you can't hardly see it. You got to be in a real good light and look real close to see that faint scar that's just slowly over the years went away. Now it might show up better once I lose all this weight I'm losing. By the way, I tell you right now, I've lost 80 pounds. Yes, I have. Lost 80 pounds. And I'm going for about another 50 more, and then we'll be set. Yep. So, anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that. Tell you how it happened. Tell you what happened. And thing was, when I pulled my hand out of there, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't notice that my finger was down. I wasn't even looking. It did. I was looking at all them women that was screaming and hollering, looking at me, and, well, what are you screaming about? And I mean, they screamed over that. And so it wasn't until after they put it back together that it really started to hurt bad, I mean. And it took a while for it to quit hurting, but it took a lot longer to get it limbered up where I could open and close my hands like that. And I really believe that was God that put it back together because he wanted me to play, and he wanted me to bless the hearts of his people. So, y'all are going to fall over, you're going to fall out, you're going to pass out because this is the shortest video I've ever made. I just wanted to thank all of y'all for subbing to my channel. Y'all are such a blessing to me. You really are such a blessing to me. And I thank you for all of the positive comments. You've really, really encouraged me to finish writing my book on my life. And so, with this, I'm going to bid you adieu. And I pray that God will bless you. I pray that he'll supply your every need and take care of every circumstance in your life. And until we meet again, I'll come to you again with another story. And so till then, bye-bye. I'm not very good at getting to the end, am I?